Welcome back. We are back. SL Perion, rapper hostile. Agree to disagree.
You already know. This is SL's boy. He's not my boy though.
Yo, man.
We gonna have a discussion about this. Nas is a very polarizing figure apparently because Lonzo Ball said he's not hip hop. And then other people are like, if you actually look at his sales right now, all y'all claiming that Nas is hip hop, y'all ain't supporting him, so what are y'all talking about? Is Nas relevant, not relevant? Does he get the respect he deserves? Does he not get the respect? What's going on with this? Two sides of the story, right?
Hey.
The Nas fan and the Nas respector. We'll call it that. Let's go.
Alright, let's do it.
Money, gotta have it. Make it disappear and bring it pay like magic. Money, gotta have it. Make it disappear and bring it pay like magic.
So, yo, you got Nas, man. He's been in the game. He dropped in 1994 with Illmatic. Illmatic claimed hip hop album, they say definitely a classic. You got 5 mics in the stores.
Quickly, where you rank Illmatic as a project?
As a project, there's 10 tracks on there with an intro in the beginning. I rank it as a hip hop album from top to bottom. I mean, I rank it 9 out of 10.
And I would give it I'll probably give it a 6 out of 10. I'll probably give it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't fantastic to me. And here's the thing. I'm gonna break this down. We're gonna talk about a lot of different things, but here's the thing that as I got older, I realized about myself and why it is that when Nas was out, late '90s, I didn't gravitate towards him as a kid, but I gravitated towards DMX. I gravitated towards Big Pun. I gravitated towards Mace, towards Cannabis. That's the shit I gravitated towards. And I'll be real, I didn't gravitate towards Biggie. And he just pointed out something to me recently. We're gonna put this into it. But here's the reason why I couldn't never get into Nas. I realized this. Nas's flow was never systematic. Nas's flow never had strict patterns or strict laws. It was just all the way freeform. Nas was always a complete freeform artist when he was rapping. Most rappers, I think that's popularized, are not freeform. They all have systems. They all have patterns. Like AAAB, AAAB, AAAB. When you start studying rhyme patterns, and you'll see it. Nas did not have a pattern. Therefore, I could not follow along with him when he was rapping, and I would keep getting lost when listening to Nas. So I never gravitated towards Nas because of that. Why did you gravitate towards Nas?
Well, for pretty much the exact same reason, and what we was going to earlier with Biggie, they was doing along the same thing. It was a thing where the ability to be unpredictable was an attribute within itself. So going back to like masters and things, you don't want to. You said that people that are more systematic would have more success or more notable, more we have more knowledge of them. But a lot of the I guess what the more like the free form or like the more unsystematic approach deals with more about just being completely original. You know what I'm saying? And not really having a form even when you do the hip hop. See, because then this all goes back into the evolution of hip hop and how hip hop is now compared to how hip hop was in the 90s and 80s and whatnot. So it's to a certain thing where if you understand, I think this was pretty much the next level of lyrical ability. If let's say Biggie would been alive to do like a third album, a third LP, that would have you know, a trifecta of art that we can sit back and analyze.
And like I said, I was gonna bring back to what I said. He explained to me that Big also, like Nas, had a freeform flow and didn't have a pattern.
Yeah, it was more like a freestyle
which
flow.
pretty much explains, I guess, why it is that I ain't gravitate towards.
Right. It was.
And I'm talking about unconsciously, as a 13, 14-year-old hearing Jay-Z, DMX, Nas on the radio, you gravitate towards what you gravitate towards. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm gonna say, you talk about his ability to be freeform with his flow. Mm-hmm. Nas was, as far as being a mold-breaking artist with Illmatic, the reason why Illmatic was the groundbreaking project that it was because he had so many different producers on that project. Before, it was pretty much the standard that a rapper worked with one producer. He worked with one style of instrumentation behind him. Nas broke that mold, and he had different beats from different places, and he was able to rap over all of them. Okay. I am a Nas respecter. I would never say Nas is trash. I would never say Nas is not hip hop. I would never say Nas is not a legend. I say I'm not a fan. I respect what he did, but it's not. To me, alright, so I do poetry as well, right? True poetry, I consider myself, I do rap poetry, then I do spoken word. Spoken word doesn't have rules. You don't have to have a rhyme here and here. You don't have to have this many syllables here. It's completely free form, and you can do whatever you want as a spoken word artist. That what Nas calls himself a poet. He's saying he's being poetic. So if you want to call him a street poet in that regards, then he's doing poetry with some music behind him. But music to me is entertainment. Entertainment.
Was Tupac entertaining?
Yes.
Was Tupac a poet?
Yes, he was.
All right.
God.
He's a poetic entertainer.
But
yeah.
Tupac wasn't nowhere near as freeform.
No.
He wasn't nowhere near as freeform.
No, see, but the free form is where you.
And Nas really never put a lot of energy behind, like Tupac.
It was more consistent. It was more like Rakim. Like Rakim used to early record. Rakim would they would laugh at him because he was sitting down. He was like, "Nah, man, I'm gonna just record like this." Everybody else, they was like, "You gonna get up, put some more energy into it?" He was like, "Nah, I got it like this." And then they had to realize what he was trying to do because it was like a silent attack, and it was more It's more talking to your subconscious. Nas is like a subconscious rapper because when when he makes it not, it's like what he calls conversational rap, conversation. Prodigy, same thing. Prodigy made a living off not making words rhyme, but just laying it and then the energy and the point, because you're trying to make a point. So sometimes when you're trying to make this overwhelming point, you're not going to rhyme. Because the rhyme is not worth more than the point.
No.
But is the rhyme worth more than...
That breaks rules. Rap is supposed to have systems. It's supposed to have programs and guidelines that you follow, and you can't rhyme without rhyme.
No. Well, see, what I'm saying is, he's still rhyming. It's that it's not.
Nas will make words that don't rhyme sound like they rhyme. He does that.
Well, yeah, Eminem does that a lot.
Yes, he does.
Eminem, but see that is inflections, and that is perception and inflection. You know what I'm saying? They're inflecting what they want you to feel through how they're saying a certain word. That's a quality. That's a stat that should be static. That's something
that should be.
That's
static.
a stat that should be that's an attribute. That's why people like Eminem. Eminem can do that, but Eminem he is like form by form. He's very like
Eminem is
systematic,
extremely systematic
in that, but Eminem is very freeform at the same time because it's about not being too systematic. Like you can be systematic but still be freeform. You have to have a balance.
Like when we broke down cannabis, while I explained to him, he was breaking down each rhyme word, and I said, no, it's not each rhyme word. That's the standard. Mm-hmm. It's rhyme word here and the rhyme word here. Yeah. Everything else in between is just shit you play with. But the standard is here and here, and spread out in wider, whatever you want to call it,
right.
wider displays of time, and everything else in between is just free-form playfulness.
So,
but still, it
right.
has a wider standard.
Right. So the standard came from early on in early hip hop, right? You used to have their rhyme word was at the fourth beat of the bar.
Yeah.
So 4
It
is
was always
4.
in the same place.
It was all in the same place. So now when Rakim came along, he was trying to innovate the game, make the game more lyrical,
but he
would internal rhyme.
But he still followed the pattern.
Well, he still
here,
right.
it's here and here, and everything else in the middle is just stuff I could play around.
But guess what? Who
But
took away from the pattern?
So who did away with the pattern?
Biggie. That's why they said Biggie has the what? The best flow.
Money, gotta have it. Make it disappear and bring it back like that. Money, gotta have it.